Common rules about plural nouns. To make the plural form of the noun, first we need to look at the ending, the last letter of this noun. If the ending is consonant, the ending for the plural form would be u. How it works? You just add u letter to the end. Stole, stali. The problem is that sometimes the stress from this one can go to the different place. So the stress in Russian language is not stable. There is a tendency, but it's only a tendency, not the rule. So I recommend you to look all the nouns in the dictionary to check their plural forms. But again, as I said, there is a tendency. If the noun has one syllable, as stole, one syllable, and it's originally Russian word, what does it mean? You have a word stole, but you would never guess that it's a table if you don't know the translation. So it means that it's originally Russian word. And if those two things work together in the noun, usually, but not all the time, usually the stress from this syllable, single syllable, goes to the second syllable that you create with letter U. That's why you had stole, the original form, a table, but the plural would be a little bit different, stoli. Now letter O is unstressed, so it would be A sound, but not O anymore. Stole, stali. And again, it's a tendency, not the rule. Usually, this jumping stress would be all the time with one syllable and originally Russian words, but not with O, unfortunately. So dictionaries, yeah, you all the time when you learn new words, check is the form, plural form, is regular or maybe irregular. It will help you a lot. So stole, stali. Nos, nose. It's still consonant, so the plural form would be nasi. Yes, again, one syllable. Is it originally Russian? Well, difficult to say, especially when it sounds the same way as English nose. But it's so typically Russian already that you need to keep this tendency as I said before. And the ending will jump to the end. Nos, nasi. Nos, nasi. What about banan? Consonant, right? But two syllables, so you keep the stress where it was. Banan, banane. No, bananas, yeah, of course. Volos, a hair, one hair. All the hairs on your head would be volosy. For Russian language, volosy, all the hairs on your head, they are plural. Volos, volosy. Two syllables, you keep the stress where it was. So usually we deal like this. If you don't have dictionary next to you, you can think this way. One syllable, it's originally Russian word, or very Russian already, yeah, became very Russian. No, with those I agree it's a little bit more difficult. So if it's originally Russian and one syllable, you put y, you create this second syllable, and now the stress from this single syllable goes to the second. But if there are two syllables, usually you keep the stress where it was. So today you will see a lot of not common situations, not regular situations. And the topic about plural nouns is very unstable. We have rules, but we have a lot of exceptions, even more than in English, for example. And we have this problem with the stress. What about Frucht? Frucht, no, actually it's fruit. Yeah, so foreign word. Frukte. You keep the stress where it was, even if it's one syllable here. But it's actually very easy to understand from English. Fruit, fruct. So maybe you can think it's a foreign, adopted from a foreign language, so it's not originally Russian word. Grib, mushroom, and грибы. Yeah, this tendency works here. Сыр, cheese, сыры. Again, yeah, you already feel this tendency, this melody. Let's go back. Стол, столы, нос, носы, гриб, грибы, сыр, сыры. And you can guess that maybe scarf would be шарфы, but sorry, it would be шарфы. Why? Actually, again, yeah, I said about the tendency. This problem with scarf, a scarf, we also have among Russian native speakers. A lot of people just say шарфы because they feel that they should do the same with mushrooms, grib, and сыр, cheese, and the rest the same words. So Russian people, of course, just can make mistakes because they don't learn grammar the same way as foreigners. They just feel rules, they just feel the language, but they can be sometimes wrong. Again, check if you have the opportunity to check all the nouns in the dictionary. And the last one, пациент, a patient, and пациенты, пациенты. Better to say, yeah, because it's a foreign word, and ye usually we pronounce as e. Пациенты, пациенты, пациенты. Yeah, foreign, a lot of syllables, and you keep the stress where it was. Sorry, but it's really a problem with those stresses for nouns. For plural nouns, and sometimes when it comes to some cases, the stress can go to different places. So just be aware of such problem. Okay, the next one. If the noun is feminine and with "a" at the end. So what we do? We don't need this "a" anymore. It would be still "u" sound, yeah, and letter, but without "a." It was школа and plural школы. Школы. No "a." It would be replaced with "u." I wouldn't tell you again about stress, yeah, just keep in mind the previous explanation. Школа means a school. Губа, a lip. Again, "a" I drop it and put I. Губы. No questions about the stress. Sorry. Lips. Yeah. Шляпа. A hat. Шляпы. Ваза. A at the end. Вазы. Картина. Картины. Not so difficult. Yeah. A, you drop it and then you put I. Now you have plural form. Spelling mistakes, yeah, you can have if you don't learn those 7 letters. They are special. K, G, H, J, Sh, Sh, and Ch. After them, you can't have I. Never. Never. Not even for plural nouns, but for any situations, for adjectives, for any other endings, never. But if I need it, I just need somehow to show that it's a plural noun. What I can do? I will use E instead. I guess most of you already heard that U letter and E, they are, yeah, of course they're different, but they just have something in common. So it's not a big problem just to not write U, but write E. The examples. Урок, уроки. You can imagine if it's consonant, you actually should put U, but after K, no U, and you write E. It's even easier to pronounce. Not урок if there you put U, yeah, but уроки. Even your tongue will thank you, as the pronunciation is easier. Книга, A. We already remember that A should be replaced with I, but sorry, there is G, and after G, no I. It should be replaced with E. So the idea is the same. You think about I first, then you check what letter. Is it one of those 7? Yes, so I should be replaced with E. In a while, it would be your actually already habit. You will see, for example, K, and then without even thinking, you will put E and no I. You just couldn't see them together. Эпоха, эпохи, again, yeah, the same H from the list. Этаж, этажи. Реванш, реванши. Плащ, плащи. Врач, врачи. If you check all those letters from the list. So let's try. Much. Ch, ch, ch. Okay, it's from this list. I need E ending, not I. Much with E. Сумка and plural. Сумки. Кепка and plural. Кепки. Тарелка and plural. Тарелки. Ложка. Ложки. Чашка. Чашки. Вилка. Вилки. Туча. Тучи. The next one. If it's soft sign. Soft sign, be careful, it's not always feminine noun. Yes, in most of the books, grammar books, they just say, if it's soft sign, it's very probably, yeah, most of nouns, they are feminine. But it depends on which words you use. The rule is, you never know which of those two, not neutral, two genders the noun with soft sign is. You just look each noun in the dictionary. You open the dictionary, search for loge, and there would be, okay guys, it's feminine. And you just learn this information. The good news is that you don't need to learn a lot of such nouns. We don't have, in everyday conversation, we don't have a lot of such nouns. Maybe you just need to learn 5 of them. It would be actually enough. If the noun with soft sign, we don't think about genders here, it's not about genders here, it's only about the letter, the last letter. Soft sign should be replaced with E. No E, but E. Actually, why? Sometimes those explanation, yeah, how it works, why it's this way but not another way, it's very helpful. You will understand how the Russian speakers think, how the language is just built and how it can be changed by different stations. So sometimes it's really helpful. Let's look at mysz, mouse. Mysz, myszy, yeah, for the plural form. Brosz, broszy. What I have, if it's soft sign, one syllable, the stress will be in the same place as it was before. What about метель? I didn't explain you why we put E, not I. Here it was just, there is no opportunity to check it. But here метель, soft sign makes L sound softer. If I put I instead of soft sign, it would be метелы, метелы. No, first it's quite difficult to pronounce, and also now L is not soft anymore, but it was originally soft. Why I need to change the softness, yeah, of my L if I can keep it if I put E instead of U? It was метель, now it's метели. Li. Here, the same soft and pleasant sound. That's why, to keep this softness, we should put E. Otherwise, with I sound, you will make letter L hard. It would be difficult to recognize that it's actually the same word, but only plural form. Кровать goes, of course, to кровати. Again, soft sign, you drop it and put E to keep this softness. And портфель, it's портфели. Портфели. Don't forget that O, when it's unstressed, makes this sound A. Портфели. Кровать. Right? Be careful. It's a very typical mistake. When the noun ends with O, this O should be replaced with R to make this noun plural. So you would drop O ending and put A, and you will get this plural form of this noun. For example, облако, облака. Облако, облака. O goes to A. Кресло, кресло. O, and then for plural A. Одеяло, одеяло. Стекло, стекла. Стекло, стекла. You can see some problems here. First, sometimes O can be unstressed. Sometimes it can be stressed. So it's great when the O is stressed because it's actually easy to understand which form is plural and which form is singular. Стекло, стекла. I hear O, so this noun is singular, and I hear A, стекла. I understand that this noun is plural. So also when the stress goes to different place, as облако, облака, also stress can help me to distinguish the plural and the singular form. Sometimes it happens and you again learn those nouns with their plural forms. But in кресло, кресло, or одеяло, одеяло, it's quite difficult to understand which form is plural and which form is singular. Really, O is unstressed here, so I need to pronounce it with A sound. Кресло. And plural sounds approximately the same. Кресло. So how to distinguish them? Usually you have some adjectives or maybe number in the sentence, or it's clear because of the context. That's a problem because with such nouns with O at the end, you have a lot of strange situations with the stress and with O and R endings, because it's difficult to hear which form is singular and which form is plural. And don't be surprised with ye that was replaced with you. Ye can be sometimes replaced with this your form when you change the form of the original noun. From time to time you will have such examples. But we have one very common exception here. It's яблоко, an apple, яблоко. O again is unstressed, so that's why most students, they just think that an apple, яблоко, it's feminine because they hear A there, яблоко. But as I said, O unstressed, so it should be A sound that you pronounce. Apple is round, so it can be just a hint, a trigger for you just to remember that яблоко it's neutral with O. You write it with O letter. And as I said, it's exceptional because plural form would be with E. Яблоки. Яблоко, яблоки. We have склон, and plural form would be склоны. Don't ask me about the stress. Yeah, it just happens here. Лошадь, лошадь. By the way, it's feminine, but now it really doesn't matter. It's all about soft sign. And plural would be лошади. Лошади. Лошадь, лошади. Облако. Облако. О. Облака. Облака. Конфета. Конфеты. Мальчик. Мальчики. Yeah, because after к you can't have
Now
let's
let's practice.
letter. Врач. Врач. The same. Врачи. Врачи. And look, yeah, again this jumping stress. Улица. Улицы. Этаж. Этажи. Собака. Собаки. Карандаш. And now a big surprise, it would be карандаши. Look where the stress is. It's just in completely different place. You just learn such situations. And we have a lot of them. Карандаш, карандаши. By the way, yeah, just not to get upset about the stress. Such bad and confusing situations happens with nouns, but not with adjectives and not with verbs and adverbs, for example. Yeah, we can have several exceptions with verbs and adjectives, but usually with those we have rules, and maybe 95% those rules just work perfectly, and just the rest would be exceptions. But with adjectives, verbs and adverbs, you will feel more comfortable with the stress. Nouns, yes, tendencies, but as you already saw, you just don't follow those tendencies all the time. Dictionary, yeah. And the last one, шкаф. Шкафы. Yeah, again, this good and very pleasant, even for us, for native speakers, tendency. What about exceptions? As I said, we have a lot of exceptions, but it's a video about common rules. So I will give you some common exceptions, the most just necessary. Of course, it's a person and people. The same as in English, it's just two different words. Человек, a person, and люди, people. Человек, люди. Человек, люди. Another group of people, друг, друзья. Друг, друзья. G at the very end of the word. That's why it should be pronounced as K. Друг, друг. Друг, it's only male friend. For female friends we have подруга. Подруга. That wouldn't be exceptional. Друзья, it can be whether a mix of friends, both female and male, or it can be only the group of male friends. The group of female friends, only female friends, it would be подруги. Подруги. And the third group, it's ребенок and дети. Child, children. Ребенок, дети. Ребенок, дети. And to sum everything up, be careful with the plural forms of nouns. First, we have a lot of exceptions, and secondly, we have a very tricky situations with stresses. So your best friend is dictionary. Each time when you have a noun, a new noun, check the plural form. It can be a very weird situation with the stress. The stress can be just on the different another syllable, or it can be actually exceptional and the form is completely different. Be careful and just good luck with your learning Russian language.